The thing I want to talk about first is our new line of resin, which for those of you who have followed us on social media, you're probably aware that we've done some switching over the past couple of years in what product we're using and for various different reasons why we switched. So originally when we kind of accidentally created this whole trend about 2 years ago, we were using epoxy. And that's what we began using for our river tables. And it was working good. We honestly never had any issues with epoxy. The only thing that led us to looking in other directions was the limitations in the thickness of pour you could do. Because we were doing very thick pours on some really large tables with big volumes of epoxy. So we began exploring the idea of having a custom formulation done. So we hired some chemists in the UK. They've been doing this for 40 years, been blending products like this. And they have developed a product for us to handle these thicker pours. That's sort of the main reason why we like this product. Another thing that we're very proud of with this product is it has an ASTM non-toxic certification. We're very proud of that, especially because we expose ourselves to it so much on a daily basis. It's really important to have a safe product. The one that we're going to use today is this product right here. This is the Deep. So this would be your product that you would want to use for any kind of river tables, wall art, anything where you're doing a big thick casting. Normal conditions with no manipulation of your environment, you can pour up to 2 inches thick with this product. Now, we have poured up to 6 inches thick with this product, and that is by manipulating our environment, which is something that we really want to educate people on and try and reinforce to people the importance of manipulating your environment with these epoxies. This almost goes for any kind of thick pouring epoxy. Your biggest enemy, I guess, when doing a pour like this, your biggest issue is going to be the heat that's generated by this. The more heat that's generated, the quicker your pour is going to cure, and the more bubbles that will be trapped, and just the less clarity you're going to have in your overall product. So the most simple way to manipulate your environment and extend that cure time and reduce the amount of heat generated is just with a simple fan. So we will just put a fan on one end of a piece that'll dissipate the heat that's rising up off the surface, and you can actually probably add about a day to your gel time or your cure time with that epoxy, giving it more time to rise up. What we do on really big pours is we have fans on top, and then this table here, this is a very critical part of the whole process. So underneath this sheet of plastic is a sheet of aluminum. The reason we use aluminum as opposed to plywood or MDF is because it's actually going to be a conductor and act as a heat sink to pull the heat away from the chemical reaction. So instead of that heat being insulated in our bottom mold piece of MDF and raising the overall temperature of our piece, this is pulling the heat away from our pour and stopping that from heating up as much. On top of that, we actually run air conditioners underneath the table to make that aluminum really chilly, and we air condition the whole room. So with all those things, the fans, the aluminum, and the air conditioning, we can triple the recommended thickness of this product and still have it cure in the same time, not get hot, not crack. So that's a huge, huge benefit, and something that's really important that we try to tell everyone to do. Manipulate your environment to get the best results. Even with a 2-inch thick pour, we still cool it as much as we would with the 6-inch thick pour because it's going to increase the clarity. It's just going to be a better end product the more you can cool it and the more you can dissipate that heat. I'm doing 12 liters, so I'm going to need 8 total liters of resin and 4 liters of hardener. Unmixed epoxy will be cloudy and streaky, and sort of your indication even that you're fully mixed is not necessarily going to be how long you've been mixing. It's going to be how clear your epoxy looks. These are called the ghost pigments from Black Diamond. What's unique about them is when it's in the bucket, it's going to look like this kind of weird milky color, and then as soon as we pour it in, it's going to brighten up and change color. So the blue and red will make purple, so I'm just going to actually put some purple in there, just a little accent.
Right away, you want to push all these pigments down all the way to the bottom and then start mixing. That way you avoid the pigments sticking to the side and you have to go back and forth and try to scrape in and introduce more air bubbles in your mixing. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's got the blue a little bit, eh?
Yeah.
It is kind of pearly though.
Very pretty.
Yeah, as soon as it goes on the wood, the color just pops.
And the more the more it heats up, the more those colors are gonna pop too. Like if you notice, I'll take this stick, anywhere that I am gonna move the stick, it's gonna make the color wanna show up way more whenever I'm moving that stick through, right? So as the epoxy moves around itself, it's gonna just make the color more obvious.